And welcome back here in the garden. Hey, one more thing I want to just mention. We do a lot of what we call companion planting out here, and this is very important. When you plant a lot of these different types of plant material we talked about earlier, you want to plant a lot of different types of flowers too. About 50% flowers, 50% vegetables. Reason being, well, it helps out with, repelling a lot of different types of pests and attracting a lot of bees. And Roy, you've got a question a little bit that might be related to bees. What's going on? Roy?
Yes, we grow squash plants for about the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They grow extremely well, get lots of blossoms, but never no squash.
Yeah, here's the problem. We just talked about attracting a lot of bees. Lots of flowers helps out. You might want to try some cosmos, 4 o'clocks, or even marigolds. And of course, I'll tell you a little technique that I use. I actually put a can or a half-empty can of Coke out there, or any type of sugary type drink that attracts the bees into your garden, which will help with the pollination. Of course, you can do it yourself too. There's 2 types of flowers that these types of vegetables grow. One is a male, and that's the first flower normally, and it's closer to the plant. And then there's a female. Now you'll see the female will have a slight bulbous type of growth right at the base of it. Take that male plant, which doesn't have that growth, put it inside the female plant, just kind of dust it in there, should be in real good shape to produce plenty of squash. Rita, you're our next caller. What can I do for you? Rita?
Yes, hi. We were wondering what time of, what month should we plant our vegetables in the Globe Miami area, and also where can I find the little puffer that you spread the diatomaceous earth?
Okay, that's a great question. You can just go on our website, gardenguy.com, to find a little puffer. And you guys are a little bit cooler than us, so you're about 30 days behind. And let's just review. You need to go ahead and start thinking about down here in the lower sections, going in and putting your corn, your beans, your squash, all those need to go in, including your melons, your watermelons, all those plants that produce a certain type of fruit. If you're going to be in an area that's going to get a little bit of frost a little bit later, well, just hold off until we get through that frost period. Right now, we're more than likely through it down here in the lower valleys, and you should be about, like I said, about 20 to 30 days behind us. And we got another caller there? Is there another caller there, Nicole? Sandra. Sandra, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I have desert landscaping, and I've just recently put in a lot of money on some gravel rock.
Okay.
And so I want to keep the plants where they are and keep the grass out of the gravel, but I'm using Roundup, and it's just not working.
Yeah. You might want to try what we call 10% vinegar. It's real easy. You can go out. It's a pickling vinegar. It works out. It's all organic. The other thing, you may have weeds and grass, so some type of corn gluten or something along those lines will go a long ways. You can find it at a lot of Whole Foods here in town and some of your other different types of box stores. Those are 2 ways to do it. Let me tell you part of the problem. When you put down rock, you need at least 4 inches because rock is essentially mulch. Without having that 4 inches of top or coverage on the soil, Mother Nature's naturally going to want to cover up that soil, and she's going to want to cover up with weeds because of the fact she's trying to protect that soil. So make sure you might want to increase the amount of rock you've got on top of it, and you should be in real good shape for, well, taking care of that weed growth. And Carolyn, you're our last caller. What can I do for you? Carolyn?
How do you keep the wacky rabbits out of my garden?
Oh, well, there's something that if you got a friend that drinks beer, that's one way to do it. You can figure out what happens with the after effects of beer. That's one way. Human hair's another way. Old underwear. You know, you kind of get the idea, and you can actually get something like maybe a coyote urine, bobcat urine. And, you know, Tess, we've kind of talked about how, or try to figure out how they get something like that and never been able to figure it out, but I guess I don't really want to know anyway. So, Tess, back to you. You got any rabbits over in your garden?
No rabbits. Haven't seen many out in my neck of the woods.
And you know what? They can always email me, and I can kind of explain the beer deal if they don't get what I'm talking about off air, of course.
All right, very good. We can always reach Dave, right? You can find out links and different ways to get a hold of him by going to our website at azfamily.com. Thank you, Dave. We'll see you next Saturday.